Can't even
He
discuss
gets
some of the
shot.
mistreatment we found out about.
They're on the ground with
President
him.
Trump,
I don't know what
again,
happens there,
proves why
and then
he's the
they take him to
greatest
hospital.
president in my
So,
lifetime.
I mean,
Over
you're right.
62,000
You're
children
right that
rescued
obviously
by
what they
President
did
Trump.
was
Again,
incompetence.
children that were
Like they probably should
ignored
have.
and weren't being
They
looked
should have
for
tried to
under
like
President
save him
Biden.
there.
I look at the
The
numbers every
risk you
day. On
have in the
Friday, I
United
looked
States,
at the
I mean,
numbers.
there's always
There's
this
over
risk of litigation that you try and save
62,000
someone and you get in trouble.
children found by the Trump administration.
So I guess you're right in
Children
that
that
sense.
weren't even
It could
being
be
looked for
incompetence, it
under the
could
Biden
be
administration.
nefarious.
Why
President
would they
Trump saved
yank
over
the SD cards out of
62,000
the
children's
camera
lives.
within 2
Some of these
minutes?
children in sex
Well,
trafficking we
What
found. Some
life-saving
were
effort
forced
is
labor.
that's a
that?
Some were
separate
being
point. So in terms of pulling the
mistreated.
SD cards out,
I can't
his
even
claim
discuss some of
is
the
that he
mistreatment
pulled
we
it
found
out
out
in
about.
order to make sure that they've got the
President Trump,
evidence rather than
again,
someone
proves
else
why
steal
he's
it.
the greatest president in my lifetime. Over 62,000
With all the cops around, there were 7
children
cops
rescued by
around.
President Trump. Again, children that were
Yeah,
ignored and weren't
people
being
can
looked
steal it,
for
right?
under
That's
President
crazy.
Biden.
But you
I
don't
look
think
at the
people
numbers
can
every day.
Really?
On
With all
Friday,
those
I
people
looked
with
at the
guns,
numbers.
people are going to go
There's
up,
over
climb up.
you don't think a person can steal an
62,000
SD card?
children found by the
They're
Trump
going to climb up.
administration.
First, they have to climb up to get to it.
Children
With
that
all those
weren't
people
even
around,
being looked
that's not
for
going to
under the Biden
happen.
administration.
So
President
look at
Trump
the
saved over
role of
Hey, Sully, do you
62,000
mind if I add
children's
some
lives.
context before we
Some
get
of
too
these
Yeah,
far
children in
away
yeah,
sex
because I want to go
trafficking we
with each
found.
point.
Some
I
were in
think the
forced
SD
labor. Some were
card
being
isn't a strong
Yeah.
point as people claim.
mistreated.
Go ahead, Joe.
I can't even discuss some of the mistreatment we found out
Yeah,
about.
I just want to add more
President Trump,
to
again, proves why
JJ's
he's the
theory
greatest
because I believe
president
the
in my
same thing.
lifetime. Over
Not only do you see a
62,000
fragment
children
from the
rescued
back,
by
right,
President
which
Trump.
could be a
Again,
fragment, could be a
children
fly,
that were
right?
ignored
Then
and
you
weren't
see the
being
back
looked
of his
for
shirt move
under
up,
President Biden. I
his
look at the numbers
chain
every day.
break,
On Friday, I looked at
and
the
then the
numbers.
bullet hole,
There's over
and then you see a fragment
62,000
in front of him,
children
which could also
found
be a
by the
fly.
Trump
But
administration.
the
Children that
probability
weren't even being
of
looked
catching
for
a
under the Biden
fly
administration.
in the
President
right
Trump saved over
direction, one frame
62,000 children's
before
lives.
he gets shot,
Some of
and
these
one
children in
frame,
sex
2
trafficking
frames
we
after
found.
he
Some were in
gets
forced labor.
shot
Some were being
is quite rare, right?
mistreated.
Especially in the
I
right
can't even discuss some of the
trajectory.
mistreatment we found out about.
Also, if you
President
measure
Trump,
the
again,
angle
proves why he's the
of
greatest
getting
president
hit
in my
on the
lifetime.
C6,
Over
okay, which is where the shirt
62,000
moved
children
and where the
rescued
chain
by
breaks,
President Trump.
and then
Again,
go up.
children
If
that
you
were
put your
ignored
finger on
and
the
weren't
very
being looked
back of
for
the base
under
of
President Biden. I
your
look at the
neck,
numbers
which is
every
where
day.
the
On
shirt,
Friday,
where
I
your
looked at the
t-shirt would
numbers.
lay, and then
There's
put
over
your finger on middle
62,000
up your throat,
children
which is
found
where
by the Trump
the
administration.
bullet hole was.
Children that weren't
That's an
even being
upward
looked
angle.
for under
That's
the
not a
Biden
downward
administration.
angle. That's why I don't believe the
President
vent
Trump
theory,
saved over
but I do believe the behind theory.
62,000 children's
Right, so if
lives.
someone was in the
Some of
tunnel,
these children in
that's
sex
actually the
trafficking we
angle
found.
it
Some
is
were in
from the
forced
tunnel,
labor. Some were being
because he's only about 10 feet up,
mistreated.
right?
I can't even discuss some of the
From that,
mistreatment we found out about.
sorry, not even 10 feet.
President
That's what
Trump,
the
again,
pit
proves why
size
he's
is.
the greatest
He should
president
only
in
be
my
about
lifetime. Over
4-foot elevation
62,000
from
children
normal,
rescued by President Trump.
because of the
Again,
stage, which
children
is
that
about
were
the angle
ignored
that
and
bullet
weren't being
traveled,
looked for
right?
under President Biden. I look at the numbers every day. On Friday, I looked at the numbers.
The chain whips off
There's
of
over
him.
62,000
Erica Kirk says
children
that the medical
found
staff
by the
gave him
Trump
the chain
administration.
because they had to rip it
Children
off
that
him,
weren't
which is
even being
not
looked
true.
for under
Many
the Biden
people are saying
administration.
that chain that she's
President
holding
Trump
isn't
saved
even
over
a St. Michael chain,
62,000
which
children's
is what he's
lives.
known for wearing.
Some of these children in sex trafficking we found.
Then
Some
on
were in
top of
forced
it,
labor. Some were being
unlike every other
mistreated.
big case
I can't even discuss some
where
of the
you
mistreatment
have
we found
medical
out about.
staff, even in that
President Trump,
insurance guide,
again,
you had
proves
the
why he's the
doctor
greatest
speaking
president in my
and
lifetime.
nurses
Over
speaking. So when Trump was in
62,000
Butler,
children
you had
rescued by
nurses, you had
President
people
Trump.
in a
Again,
waiting room, you
children
had
that were
the
ignored
doctor. All
and
of them
weren't being
spoke
looked
to the
for
media
under President
because the
Biden. I
media
look at the
offers
numbers
them
every
money
day.
to
On
speak
Friday,
to
I looked
them.
at the numbers.
There's been nothing
There's over
from any person in that
62,000
hospital that he supposedly
children
went to
found by the Trump
to get
administration.
treated. Not a single interview.
Children that
right?
weren't even being
Although
looked
there's
for
plenty of
under
money
the Biden
flying around because
administration.
everyone would love to hear it.
President Trump saved over
So
62,000
because of
children's
all this
lives.
evidence, like I don't
Some of
know
these
who
children in
is
sex trafficking we found.
in on
Some
it,
were in
who's
forced
not
labor.
in
Some
on
were
it,
being
who's scared for their life,
mistreated.
and is not willing to
I
speak
can't even
because
discuss
he
some of
was
the mistreatment we
assassinated,
found out
and
about.
they know they would be next
President
if they
Trump,
did
again, proves why
speak
he's
up.
the greatest president in
You
my
know,
lifetime.
you simply
Over
don't know, right?
62,000
But
children
those two
rescued
fragments and the
by
fact that the
President
back
Trump.
of the shirt moved
Again,
in the front of the
children
shirt,
that
the
were
fact that his neck
ignored
swelled
and
up
weren't being can look
towards
for
the front and not
President
towards
Biden.
the
I
back,
look at
which
the
is
numbers every
exactly what
day.
a
On
bullet would
Friday, I
do. It
looked at the
expands
numbers.
towards the end,
There's
not
over
in the very beginning.
62,000
The fact that the
children
blood
found
typically
by the
gushes
Trump
out the exit,
administration.
not the entry.
Children that
You
weren't
just heard
even being
Bobina,
looked
who has the
for under the
best
Biden
PFP I've ever
administration.
seen on Twitter,
President Trump saved over
tell you that, you know,
62,000
you actually
children's
don't even
lives.
need to clean
Some
up
of these
much
children in
the
sex
entry room
trafficking, we
typically.
found them. Some were in forced
Huh?
labor. Some were being
You don't need to clean up the entry room
mistreated.
very much.
I can't even discuss some of the
Typically,
mistreatment we
like,
found out about.
not a
President
lot of
Trump,
people need to
again,
be in
proves
on
why
it,
he's the greatest
right?
president in my
Especially
lifetime.
if
Over
Did he actually go to a hospital?
62,000
There's
children
zero
rescued
evidence that he did.
by
Not a
President
single
Trump.
medical
Again,
person has spoken
children
up.
that
It's
were
been months.
ignored
As I
and
recall,
weren't
he
being
was
looked
Why?
rushed
for under
into a
President
black
Biden. I looked at the
van
numbers every
almost
day. On
immediately.
Friday, I looked at the numbers. There's
And
over
Yeah, and there is
62,000
one
that's
report
children
of
found
a
by the
cop
Trump
car
administration.
saying that there is a
Children
black
that weren't even
SUV
being
traveling
looked
at
for
high
under the
speed
Biden
with the door
administration.
open.
President
But he
Trump saved over
says, I believe it's
62,000
another
children's
person
lives.
that got shot.
Some of these children in
Which to
sex
me
trafficking
is
we
like,
found.
okay,
Some
so
were
then
in
that's
forced
not
labor. Some
Charlie
were being
Kirk. Because then why does he know about another
I
person?
can't
Why
even
wouldn't he
discuss
think
some of
that's
the
Charlie
mistreatment we
Kirk?
found out about.
Right? So that
President
report
Trump,
is kind of
again,
weird.
proves why he's the greatest
That was
president in
traveling
my
towards the
lifetime.
hospital.
Over 62,000
But that's not
children
necessarily
rescued
Charlie Kirk.
by
He's saying it's
President
another
Trump.
person that
Again,
got shot.
So
children that
Blake,
were ignored
appreciate
and
Blake
weren't
being
being
on the
looked for
stage.
under
Blake,
President
obviously,
Biden.
if
I
I
look at the numbers
understand
every
this right,
day.
your
On Friday, I
position is
looked at the
different to this.
numbers.
So Blake
There's over
has been following the case,
62,000
and you reject
children
this theory that it was
found
a
by
shot
the
from
Trump
behind, right?
administration. Children that weren't
Absolutely. Yeah.
even being
No
looked
way.
for under the Biden administration.
The
President
what I
Trump
just
saved over
posted in the pill,
62,000
what
children's
is being
lives.
described,
Some of
there's
these
no
children in sex
possible
trafficking
way
we found.
that
Some were in forced labor.
that
Some were being
necklace is flying
mistreated.
off
I can't even discuss
way
some of the mistreatment
back
we found
and
out about.
behind. I mean, there's
President
no way.
Trump,
It's
again, proves why he's
that
the greatest
chain is
president in my
doing what it's
lifetime.
doing
Over
because it
62,000
is
children
exploding
rescued
and
by
detonating
President
under
Trump.
his shirt.
Again,
And
children
it
that
is
were ignored
blowing the
and weren't being
chain
looked
in the
for
backwards
under
direction.
President
Like
Biden.
a
I look at the
bullet
numbers
makes
every
no
day. On
sense to
Friday, I
do
looked
that.
at the
I
numbers.
mean, just no
There's
sense.
over
Like you're not going to shoot
62,000
from behind
children
and then have the
found by the Trump
chain
administration.
shoot off the body
Children that
like
weren't even
something
being
is like
looked
you can't
for
have the
under the
best
Biden
of both
administration.
worlds and have all
President
this make
Trump saved
sense.
over
Like there's
Blake,
just
I've actually
62,000
I don't
children's
understand
lives.
replicated it.
why
Some of these
can't
children in
Blake,
sex
I've
trafficking we
replicated it.
found.
When
Some
fly
were
you
in
hit
around
forced
if you're
labor.
shot
Some were
from the
being
back? What I mean, what
mistreated.
when you
logic are
whip
you?
something,
I can't even discuss some
I-
of the
I don't
mistreatment
when
we
you
found
whip
out about.
something, it would fly back
President
to
One
Trump,
second, no,
forward
again,
because
proves
it's
why he's the
pinned
greatest
to
president
the
in my
skin.
lifetime. Over
Yeah,
62,000
I've actually
children
had someone
rescued by
replicate this
President
for
Trump.
me.
Again,
I'm waiting for
children
the
that were
video.
ignored
If you
and
hit
weren't being looked
a
for
chain,
under
a
President Biden. I
string,
look
or
at the numbers
something
every
from the
day. On
back,
Friday, I
it
looked
would
at the
whip.
numbers.
And when it
There's over
whips, it goes up. It
62,000
travels upward
children
because of the
found by the
fact that it
Trump
was down. So when you
administration.
send energy down
Children that
a
weren't even
wire,
being looked
right,
for
the
under the
wire
Biden
would pop
administration.
up to be
President
level to
Trump
where it
saved over
is. So it would overreact. And
62,000
yes, that's
children's
exactly what
lives.
would happen to
Some of
it.
these children in sex trafficking we found.
Most
Some
people don't
were in
understand
forced
that when
labor.
you
Some
whip
were
something,
being
it actually, when you hear the crack,
mistreated.
it's breaking the
I
sound, the
can't even
speed. That's
discuss
how
some of the
fast
mistreatment
things
we
go.
found out
So
about.
if you hit it with a bullet
President
on a
Trump,
chain,
again,
it's
proves
going
why
to
he's the
whip
greatest president
upward
in my lifetime.
because
Over
it wants to be level with
62,000
where you
children
hit the
rescued
actual
by
chain.
President Trump.
Right? It's almost like
Again,
taking a
children
whip
that
that's
were
resting on the
ignored
ground. You go to
and
whip
weren't
it, it's
being
going to go
looked for
straight
under President
forward. It's
Biden.
going to go
I look at the numbers
horizontal.
every day. On
And it's going
Friday, I
to
looked at the
overcorrect
numbers.
because it's coming from
There's
so
over
low.
It's
That's
called the
exactly what
$62,000
would happen.
called
okay.
the
So
release of
where
found by
kinetic
the Trump
energy.
administration.
where is it coming from
Children
then?
that weren't
Like if
even
we're
being
going to
looked for
subscribe
under
to
the
this
Biden
theory, like
administration.
where is
President
it
Trump
coming
saved
from?
over 62,000 children's lives. Some of these children in sex
My
trafficking
theory
we
is it
found.
came
Some were
somewhere
in
from
forced
in the
labor.
tunnel,
Some were
but I
being
don't know where it came from.
mistreated.
I know that you see the
I can't
fragment
even
and you see
discuss
the
some of the
fragment
So,
coming
mistreatment we
out,
found out
but you
about.
can't
and that's
have
an
it all
upward
of these
angle.
President
ways
Trump,
when we can
again,
see
proves why he's the
everyone
greatest
there.
president in my
You can't
lifetime.
be like, I
Over
know for a fact it's a bullet,
62,000 children
but yet I
rescued
don't know.
by
Like
President
there's
Trump.
no gun or
Again,
anything back
children that
here.
were
Like
ignored
like
and
if
weren't
it
being
walks
looked
like a
for
duck,
under
then it's an
President Biden.
explosion
I look
type
at
of
the
thing. I
numbers every
mean,
day. On
So
like
let me
Friday, I
ask
looked
you,
at the
what
numbers.
where did it
explosion
come
does
from?
There's
not?
over
Let me. What?
Can you
Give me
see
62,000
one
behind the
explosion.
behind the SUV,
found by
Blake?
the Trump
But hold on a second.
administration.
He's saying it's explosion. So
Children
let's
that
not
weren't
say
even
what
being
it is.
looked for
Let's
under
just
the
prove
Biden
what he's saying.
administration.
If it was an
President Trump
explosion,
saved over
where was the powder? Where was the
62,000
flash?
children's
Where
lives.
was the?
Some of
You
these
would see a
children in
burn
sex
in his shirt.
trafficking we
Where
found.
was
Some
that?
were in
If it
forced
was an
labor. Some were
explosion.
being
I see no evidence of any.
mistreated.
You know, it was a bullet.
I can't even discuss
That's
some of the
right.
mistreatment we
Okay,
found
because
out
someone
about.
said, someone
President
said it was an
Trump,
explosion.
again,
I'm
proves
like,
why he's the
they were
greatest
like, oh, it's that
president in my
little lapel
lifetime.
mic. It was an
Over
explosion. I'm like, oh, okay. So, well, it had deck cord and then there'd be a flash, there'd be smoke, there'd be a hole in the shirt. There was no
So are
evidence of
you
that.
are you the single most authority on every single possible thing known to mankind that has to deal with explosions? Are you saying right now that you know every single thing that is available to mankind at this moment, and every single explosion must have a boom, a powder, a flash? Is that what you're saying? In a burn?
Me and my team, yes. Like I said, I have the largest
Who's you and your
energetics
team?
company in the
Again,
United
he's like he's
States.
the greatest
Yes.
president in my lifetime.
You and your team, y'all know every single thing on the market that's available, and
Yes, we're
every
the only one
single
that manufacture
explosion.
all three types of explosions. St. Mark's only makes two. We make all three. So yes.